Welcome everyone, my name is Mike and this is Mike and the Magic, a YouTube channel dedicated to the magic of travel with a heavy focus on Disney, Universal, and cruising. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 ways that I help physically prepare my body for a Walt Disney World trip. Before we get started, I want to throw out a disclaimer. I am not a nutritionist, I am not a personal trainer, and I sure as heck am not a doctor. What I'm telling you guys today is what personally works for me and what I've done to prepare for Walt Disney World vacations. This will also work for Disneyland, Universal, you name it. These are just tips that has worked for me. And again, if you have any concerns, definitely talk to your doctor. So the first thing you want to do is start a walking regimen. And you want to start this literally the next day after booking your trip. What I did the first time, it just set goals. You want to start off at the level that you're comfortable with. Whether that's 2,000 steps or 10,000 steps. Start off with what you're comfortable with and then build from there. For me personally, I started off with a goal of 5,000 steps and I worked my way up to 10,000 steps. Right now, I do walk about 10,000 steps a day, at least 5 days a week. Then 2 days a week, I tone it down a little bit to about 5,000 steps. That's what personally works for me. And that's what keeps me going in the parks. It is not uncommon to walk 30,000 steps in a day at Walt Disney World. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, if I'm only practicing for 10,000 steps, how am I going to do 30? And be quite honest with you, it's still a little difficult, but since you have that base of 10,000, 30 doesn't seem so bad. But this helps me out. You know, I'll never forget one time in Disneyland, it was about midnight. We were walking back to our hotel, which was off-site, and about 3/4 of a mile away, and my daughter and my wife were literally mad at me that I was skipping and gallivanting around when they were just so dead tired. And it's because of the walking. You know, I was used to walking a lot of steps every day, about 60,000 steps a week. It helped out a lot for those long theme park days. So the second suggestion I have is if you need to lose weight, try to lose some weight. Even if it's 5 to 10 pounds, that helps out a lot. You know, I've struggled with weight all my life. I get the struggle that is, but almost every single trip, I lose about 10 to 15 pounds before we go on the trip. So when I eat all those snacks and eat all those delicious meals, I come back from the trip usually under the weight I started at. So it's a bonus, right? Again, consult your physician on what's best for you. But losing a little bit of weight before a trip can be a world of difference. It's going to help your knees, it's going to help your back, and ultimately help your feet if you're carrying less weight. If you're getting value out of this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more Disney content, hit that subscribe button. Your support means the absolute world to me, and any interactions that I have, whether it be a like, a comment, or a subscribe, helps the algorithm get my video out to others there. So if you're going to Walt Disney World or Universal, Orlando, it is hot in Florida. It is hot in Florida almost year round. I've been in, December and it's, 80 something degrees. I've been in January. It's been, 70 degrees. It gets cold there at times, but most of the time when people go, especially in the summers, it's hot. And if you're not used to the heat and been in air conditioning all this time leading up to the trip, you are going to be miserable. So the way I overcome this is try to spend at least 15 minutes a day out in the heat. Now, I live in Texas, and that's a little bit easier for me because it gets hot in Texas just like it does in Orlando. But that 15 minutes a day out in the heat, adjusting my body to that heat, getting acclimated to that heat, helps out a ton. It's also a good time to go ahead and start doing your walking. If you're walking that 15 minutes, you can get a good half mile in, if not a little bit further. And, you're getting acclimated to the heat. World of difference. Now, if you're coming from a colder climate, or if you have a gym membership with a sauna, the sauna is the perfect place to go to. In fact, I spend most of my time in the sauna, even though I'm in Texas. My gym has one, so I take advantage of that. And I'm telling you, it makes a lot of difference. Every time that I go to Walt Disney World, the heat isn't so much the issue for me. It's the sun. I'm pale complected, redhead before I went gray. My complexion hates the sun. But the heat I can handle. And to overcome the sun, I wear a hat. I usually get one of those Nike dry fit hats they sell in the parks. That'll be my park hat. I'll wear that the entire trip, because if I don't, that sun's just gonna totally bake me. The next piece of advice is to take care of your feet and get a great comfortable shoe. When you're picking out your footwear, you want to make sure that you're going for functionality over fashion because who cares what they look like? You want your feet to be comfortable or you're going to have a long park day. I personally get the Brooks running shoes. The model I get is the Brooks Glycerin. It's an expensive shoe, but it lasts a long time. It's super comfortable and it's like walking on clouds, at least for the first half of the park day. Towards the end, you're like, man, no matter what, my feet are going to hurt just a little bit. But again, get a good, comfortable shoe because you're going to be in it all day long. Also, you want to get the shoe about a month before your trip, so that way you're able to break it in, make sure it's not going to give you any kind of blisters, because blisters on top of walking 30,000 steps a day, no fun at all. Also, if you have a park bag or if you see rain in the forecast, you may want to consider getting a comfortable sandal with a strap around the heel. I personally wear Crocs for this, and the reason why I go for Crocs is the fact that it does have that strap around the heel. It's got the holes in there, so if it's a downpour in Walt Disney World and the streets start to flood a little bit, that water's in and out of the shoe, keeping your foot a little drier than it would in a sneaker. And if you get your sneakers wet in the rain, it's going to be a long week with a wet shoe. So definitely bring a backup shoe if you can. If not, at least bring something like Crocs. It'll help out tremendously. And the final tip is to hydrate. You not only want to hydrate the week before your trip, but you're going to want to hydrate your body throughout the trip. Drink lots of water. You want to replenish your electrolytes. I personally use a Element. Element is a salt-based electrolyte that you can put into a water bottle. You can put it into the free water that you can get at quick service dining restaurants. And I want to clarify, this is the free fountain water. You're not going to get a free bottle of water, but if you ask for a free cup of ice water, every quick service restaurant will give you a small little cup. Sometimes they'll give you 3 or 4, and you can sprinkle a little bit of electrolytes in there. Helps out tremendously. If you're hydrated, you're going to have energy. You're going to be able to keep on going, and that Florida heat, no joke. You're going to keep as much fluid as you possibly can to handle it all. I thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions that I did not cover in this video, or if you have any questions, let me know as well. Again, I thank you so much for your support. It really, truly means the world to me. Until the next video, you'll have a magical week. Bye.